My name is Ashlyn Hartman, and this is my reflection vlog on my persuasive speech. The purpose of my speech was to persuade my audience to not drink and drive. I felt going into this presentation very emotional. Drinking and driving is a very touchy subject for me as it has happened in my life. It has been a part of my life that will never change, and it is very emotional to me. My technology was really prepared for this speech. I made sure that my audio worked. My lighting was a little low, but I did the best I could. And the clarity of my video I thought was very well. If I tried to do something different to make it better, it would be to just relax more when I am presenting. I didn't necessarily memorize my speech, but I felt that maybe I should have done a little better job on it. In terms of structure and organization, I thought that my transitions were very well, and my conclusion restated my speech very effectively. The thing that felt the most natural to me was just explaining how I felt about drinking and driving. I feel that drinking and driving is very inappropriate and is so irresponsible, and just getting that message across to my audiences was very important to me. I felt that was probably the most natural part for me, as I could relate to it, and I felt for it. The part that felt odd to me was not messing up my statistics, making sure I got them right, as it's factual information and I didn't want to mess it up. I considered my audience when I was writing my speech because I wanted to incorporate them in my speech. I asked them questions such as how they felt and what they would do, and they responded very well. I think it came across that it was maybe touching to them, or that they perceived that drinking and driving is not good and it's not okay and it just shouldn't be done. My strongest argument that I felt I had was just probably about the driving simulation. I never realized that they actually were very important. I knew that they existed, but I never realized how much they are used to perform research and just to help people become aware of what drinking and driving can do. They are so powerful for some people, and some people they don't really react, but a lot of people they do, and they really help them understand what drinking and driving can do and how being impaired while driving is so dangerous, and it affects so many people around you. It affects yourself, but it affects your family and your friends and the other person that is affected in those car accidents as well, and their families and their friends. I felt that I had an advantage in this presentation because I could relate to it. Drinking and driving there have been accidents in my family related to drinking and driving, and it wasn't my family's fault. And my best friend was killed from a drunk driver, and it was very touching to me, and it's very emotional, and it's a very touchy subject for me to relate to because it's hard for me to hear about those kinds of accidents, and I wish people would understand how severe they are and just stop. What I did in my speech was I organized it by my outline and separated my points and tried to make the transitions flow so that it would be easier for me, so I wouldn't be focused on remembering and making sure I had the correct one. What didn't work is I stuttered and I would get emotional and think about that, and then I would tend to forget about what I was saying, which is definitely what I would need to improve on. Just making sure I focus on what I'm talking about and making it flow and be fluent. I think that my learned experience from this project is just keep informing people or persuading people how important drinking and driving is. And it's a situation that nobody should ever have to be encountered with, drunk or sober, and thinking about the other people that it will affect if you drink and drive. It's so simple to prevent, and it is so easy to avoid. I wish more people would think about how important it is and take that into consideration before they make the choices that they do. Overall, I felt that my speech was very well. Room for improvement, definitely, but I am glad that I chose this topic and could fulfill this persuasive speech on drinking and driving. Thank you.